How long have you and your lady been together?
We've been together 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay, so are you involved in her family's life?
Lightly. It's more so like her dad lives out in Texas.
Okay.
So we see him sparingly. He's flown out here before.
Okay.
We talk to him, things like that. But my family's an hour away.
Okay.
And her dad's out in Texas. And she has some family out in Gastonia she sees in passing. But they don't do like super big official like gatherings like my family does.
Okay.
So it's more so on my end and occasionally her. We see her brother. We make it a point to see her brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I can't even really, because so has there ever been a time where you spent a holiday at one of her family's functions?
I can say I've never done that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well then that's pretty much what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I can dig it. When holiday time rolls around, we make it a point to speak to certain members of her family or as many as we can, this and the other, and she talks to obviously more members of her family than I do, and then we take the bus out to Davie County. We are heading to the greater Winston-Salem region. Not literally the bus. I don't know why I said bus.
Because I was picturing y'all like...
just duffel bag in hand. Like we're going off to basic training.
Hey, I like public transportation. So
fun fact, I've never taken public transportation.
Not like the city bus, but they're like the train even?
Okay, that's not true. I take the light rail. I almost don't count the light rail though. It's too convenient.
Right. It's not.
It's more convenient than driving and cheaper.
Right. It's not grungy enough.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That's why you don't count it as public transportation.
No one tries to sell me anything. I'm propositioned or threatened.
And it's so fast.
Absolutely. And the light rail's literally right there.
Yeah.
It's less trouble for me to take the light rail, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Especially a lot of places you can go. And, if you want to, there's parking goes everywhere. So if you want to go into the city and just completely get trashed,
100%.
you can just go do that. And then you might have to drive your car like a block.
Okay. In the words of Peter Griffin, sometimes you got to get your car home.
You do. But, even if you don't, you could probably leave it at that park and go overnight.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I was a little sketched out by the park and goes at first. It's like, this is a sitting duck. Like, if some of them get got boys wanted to make sure I got, I could get got pretty easily.
You could, but the boys hang out at a lot of the park and goes. It's definitely a high traffic area, so it's not a place to play around. If you don't want to be up there playing around.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
You don't want to be up there, drawing attention to yourself because they're
usually just counting money.
Right. Yeah.
The car.
Yeah. It's usually being patrolled by somebody good or somebody bad, but somebody's out there watching.
Yep.
Somebody's out there watching.
But on the Christmas thing, Christmas is going to be different this year. I'm going to make it a point to get certain people gifts because there's more babies. My brother, his wife, or his serious girlfriend, soon to be wife, she has kids, and they're like 12, 13-ish. And I don't want to spoil it in case they listen to this. I'm getting them something pretty legit. I had a good year, man. When I lost my job, I reconnected with my brother Damien out in Statesville. Shout out Damien Blackwell. And we got together on a piece of business, and it's truly paid dividends for me. It kept me afloat, honestly, during that downtime. So I'm going to try to give back, and he's doing big things. Of course, he's a big time type dude.
That's what's up. Yeah, I would love to be in a situation like that, to just shower especially my brother's children, with gifts and things like that. When I was a kid, we had Christmases, excuse me. I can think, there's like one or two. Like my older brother's just really just drop cash,
yeah,
drop money, 10 or 12 items, just off of television. So I never expected that though.
Yeah,
I knew that year too that hey, shit, I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life.
See, I never had the older sibling, and my aunts. I'm not saying my aunts and uncles never got me anything, but our family, we're very blue collar people. You take care of in house,
right?
Then you came to family dinner, you said, "I love you," and you hugged and kissed. And if somebody had an envelope with $20 in it for
right.
You. But as far as going to Auntie's house and she's got a PlayStation and going to your uncle's house, he's got a dirt bike. It wasn't like that. We didn't have any of that. You get that one good present, that one I gotta have it. If it's within reason, you can count on that one. And anything else,
Wow.
They went on.
I see. Yeah. See, I never knew that. Like, I mean, we spent a lot of Christmases, incapable. So, I mean, later on in my still younger years, though, my brothers, I mean, they showed out a couple of times.
But see, we had the inside track. My mom works up for Walmart, so she always had the inside track on something.
Okay.
So she used her influence in, like, when the PlayStation 2 craze happened and nobody could get a PlayStation. Man,
y'all have one?
I was the coolest dude in the neighborhood. You understand me?
No, I do, because I didn't get one until very late. But the same brother who bought out on me, he had one pretty early.
Oh yeah.
So of course I was at his house like all.
Of course,
time.
you had no choice.
All the time. So eventually though, because I got 3 older brothers.
Oh man.
Yeah. So eventually, my next older brother, like a year later, he was able to buy he lived, still at home, so he was able to buy a PlayStation. So, we were in the game. I typically spent much of I would say much of middle school and early high school, just pretty much accepting his hand-me-downs. So about 7 years of that.
See, my brother, I'm the oldest, and my brother, and the weird part is we're like the same size. He's younger. I don't think he ever wore my hand-me-downs. Like, we just had 2 different styles. We're just 2 very different people. He's a good guy, but we just don't. If you talk to him, you would be shocked he was my brother.
Mm. Did you grow up in the same house?
Yeah. He just has a very different personality than I have.
How many years apart?
4. So that's when I coached you guys. It was kind of weird because I felt like I was talking to my brother. Because my brother was like the same age in school you guys were.
Right.
Yeah, so I felt like, and I wanted Coach Smithwick to just put us in one tournament with you guys, just so I could coach against my brother or just see him out. It'd be so weird.
Do you ever still hear from Smithwick?
He lives right down the street. He lives right down the road.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw Cedric literally right before he signed his WWE contract.
He has a WWE contract?
Where have you been? Yeah, he's on Raw on Mondays.
Is he?
Yeah, if you turn on Raw on Mondays, you will see Cedric Alexander.
Wow. You know what it was? I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, because I actually talked to Jermaine when I found out. Me and my lady, we were pro wrestling nerds supreme. Like, not just WWE. I'm talking like National Guard armories with overweight people on scooters. Like, all the stereotypes, conventions, like, top-level wrestling nerd. Okay. And I've been following this guy. Like, I really like his style. He's not one of my main guys, but I like his ring work. I like the way he does a lot of things. We went to Cedric Alexander's going to be at this show. We go to the show, and he walked past me. I was like, man, I feel like I know that guy. I'm great with people's names and faces. Yeah, for this guy. That's how I spotted you outside the CPCC. Yeah. Like, immediately, that's Cooperwood. There he is. Bam.
Wow. I used to be like that.
And that guy walked past me. I was like, man, I get the vibe. I know this guy. And then I was like, from Charlotte, North Carolina. I was like, okay, he's from Charlotte. And my lady can attest to this. We were literally sitting in the house one night, and it's like a light just like weeks later, like just went on in my head. I was like, that's Cedric, that's Cedric, that's Cedric from Barry Academy, that's Cedric. She was like, what? And like raced to the computer and got on Wikipedia. I was like, oh my God. And I messaged Jermaine.
Oh, see, I thought you were talking about the other coach. I can never remember his
Cody.
name. Oh, Cody.
Cody.
Oh, Cedric, with the he had that. He had a funny hairstyle before people had funny hairstyles.
Yeah, I raced to the computer and I was like, "Oh my God, that's it!" I messaged Jermaine, like, Jermaine, this is gonna sound crazy, but do you know what Cedric's up to these days? He goes, yeah, he wrestles for Ring of Honor. I was like, was anybody gonna tell me this?
Wow.
Yeah, I messaged him on like instant message. I was like, man, this is gonna sound crazy, but did you wrestle for Bay Academy? And he just wrote back, Coach? ? Right? So I am flipping as wrestling nerds. I'm trying to play it cool. Like, yeah, how you been? And I'm like high stepping in place. Like, oh my God. And yeah, we went to all of his indie shows he does here and all of his Ring of Honor stuff. And then like I was talking to him, I was like, man, do you think you're gonna sign? Like some of the pieces are in place. He's like, yeah, man, I would like that, but I'm just kind of a one day at a time type of a deal. I was like, yeah, I get it. And it's crazy. Like he was frustrated where he was at. So he just left. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave on a wish and a prayer. I'm going to seek out something. And it was a pretty steady gig that one very respectable company has a TV deal. They do pay-per-view. It's like, I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm going to leave, and I'm just going to let fate take over from there. It could not have worked out any better. WWE announced, And it's not like he knew about any of this. They announced like a week later, it's like, WWE will be having a cruiserweight classic. They will get the 32 best cruiserweights in the world. And it was just like, oh my God, he's going to go. It was meant to be. They announced this a week after he just voluntarily left. And yeah, there it was. And now he's a full-time employee of World Wrestling Entertainment. Be seen every Monday night on Raw.
Now, he was definitely too good, like, literally in high school to not be... Like, he would do things like... He used to wrestle like Eddie from Tekken. And I'm like...
like he was just freakishly athletic to the point. I don't think he could grasp how athletic he was.
He had no clue.
Yeah,
how he was beasting him.
Yeah, like you understand that like the average person isn't this athletic.
Right. He was very, very athletic for a kid.
And such a natural, too.
He was. He enjoyed doing that, which was...
Yeah, no, wrestling is not a fun sport. The only fun part is winning.
That's the most fun. I wouldn't say that. I had a lot of fun, and I didn't win a lot.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There were a couple of times, and I remember this very distinctly. You came out there and wrecked a couple of people, and I just, like, didn't see it coming. You were a very, like... point-blank, blunt type of a learner. Like, go out there and do this, this, and this, and it should work. Like, okay. And, like, I would just look at you like, all right, boom. And there it was. You decided what you were going to do. You didn't hesitate, and there it was. The end.
That's why I liked wrestling. I liked it a lot. Kept me in the best shape ever. But I definitely enjoyed it. Because it wasn't like, I mean, other sports I probably like better. But like, say if you're playing basketball, you could be the LeBron James, but everybody on the team got to be something else.
Absolutely, or your efforts just don't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's a lot of hard work, like Allen Iverson or, Tim McGrady or who any of these people.
Absolutely.
Like, wrestling, though, is just you. Like, you won because you won, you lost because you lost.
And I'm not going to sort of take all of the responsibility for you enjoying it. But I had coaches growing up who were just like complete hard-ass guys. And I always loved the sport, but I didn't always like every coach I had. I made it a point to at least joke around and kind of identify with you guys and bring some type of fun to it. And the fact that I was only like 4 years older than you guys.
I mean, that's what made it possible. Because like, I mean, with Smithwick, he would try, but clearly he's a much older...
He was more like... He was a good coach because he had like the administrative, like mapping out, we need to do this, this, and this. And that's kind of... It doesn't matter what sport you play. Every coaching staff needs to be... You need to have the guy who can map out what we need to do to succeed. You need to have the guys that can communicate that in a way that the athletes understand and identify with them on that level. Like Coach Smith was a good coach from the administrative standpoint and the teaching standpoint.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. If I told you like though how many of those guys though are like gangsters and drug dealers.
Oh, Cheese? I saw Cheese at Sardis Walmart 3 years ago, and he's not the kind of guy that looks like anyone else. He's like the clown from Spawn.
Right, he does.
I was walking, I was like, Coach? And I turned around. He told me he just bought a new like Cadillac Fleetwood. He wanted to show me a couple guns in his trunk.
Right.
I was like, man, that's great. That sounds good. I think you're trying to rob me, but I'm not going to go look. But I'll take your word for it.
Right.
And yeah, I can't even imagine what are they doing now. I think you and Cedric and Jermaine have separated yourself from the pack.
There's a couple others like I don't know if you remember Joe. He was.
Is Mario his brother?
No, I don't think so.
Joe was a little guy.
Yeah, the little guy.
Yes, they carried him off on his shoulders after that.
I think so.
Yeah, after we beat like West Meck or something like that.
Yeah. Joe's he's one of the little guys though. Him and Kenny. But yeah, Joe does like some type of like consultant or something like that.
Really?
Some type of huge company in like Pittsburgh, and they send him all over the place.
What?
Yeah, like I mean, he's got company cards. I mean, he's
doing nice. God, I would not have thought that.
Yeah, some of them are doing real good.
Good, man. Like I always want to hear people succeed.
Yeah.
I always, especially my guy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to. That's great to hear. I need to do a piece of shameless self promotion.
Sure.
My brother Damien. I hate to sound like a complete stereotype. Dude's got a legit clothing line.
Okay. What's it called?
Rich Democrat. And we do business on a lot of different fronts. And it's the least I could do to do a name drop for him. Because doing this is going to help me in the long run. and help continue to improve our business relationship.
Does he have like Instagram and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Shout out his Instagram. I'm about to follow him right now, but shout out his
Okay,
Instagram.
we good to go? I mean, yeah, him and some business partners of him out in like the States from Mooresville area, they do a clothing line called Rich Democrat. This isn't like we want a clothing line so we can stunt and pop bottles on Instagram and, live that indirect like gangster lifestyle. That's not at all.